This is the brand new, slightly used 2012 Ford Explorer. It's red. It's red. It has a 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine up front. It's got 4 tires and 4 doors, and it's a 7-passenger small SUV that your whole family can enjoy. Let's take a look at the exterior features. We have mirrors, and on these mirrors you can see there's a smaller mirror. That is for when you're backing up and parking, you can get a better view. And also, let's look up front. We have headlights on here. We got headlights, turn signals, and if we go to the back, we have some tail lights, okay, for your braking and your backup lights. So there's also a windshield wiper on the rear of the vehicle, and you have the normal windshield wipers on the front. So now that we've covered the interesting exterior features, let's go ahead and check out the interior. Now that we've taken a look at all of the exterior features, let's take a look at the inside and see what kind of cool new updates they did for this model year. Well, if you look here, you can notice the center console area has been updated with a whole new look. We have lots of different controls for climate control. We have your AC, we have max AC. Now, what that really does is it'll recirculate the interior air so that you're not bringing in hot air to have to re-cool it down. So max AC helps to keep it cooler, and then you have these different settings here where you can choose where the air is flowing out of the vents. So you just press this button and you can control that. Otherwise, you have 2 dials here for your hot and cold temperature. Pretty easy to understand and to operate. And then on the left you have your fan speed. Okay, there's no auto fan speed or auto temperature like on the Cadillac Escalade, but that's not really a big deal. I think we can live with that. All right, and then below your climate control, you have the rear climate control, which you can control the passengers in the back temperature. Now, in the middle back here, they also have control, so you can set it with this button here that says rear control, and then they can control their own temperature back there. So that's really a cool feature. Now, this infotainment center is really, it's not really that much of an infotainment center, but it does have the radio. You can choose radio, CD, auxiliary, which there is a input for the, you can plug in your phone or iPod or something like that through this input down here. And you can see there's a little bit of extra storage down there and some USB connects. Now, the cup holder situation. We have 2 cup holders right here in the center console. Pretty good size. And then there's a smaller circle, which is not a cup holder. Unless you have a very tiny cup, I guess you could use it. But I think this is more for loose change or, you know, small items that you'd like to put in here. This center storage right here, pretty deep storage area right here. It's not uncommon. Nothing too special about that. You can put your larger items that you'd like to store in there. There's also 2 cup holders in the rear right here. Okay, so that's good. We have a good amount of cup holders. If you look in the doors, there's also this little space here to put a cup. So technically the front passenger and the driver can each have 2 beverages. I'm not sure why you would need to, but there's space for it anyway. Okay, so you have your power locks, controls. There's power windows. You can lock the access to the rear power windows with this button here. And also on the door we have the mirror controls, which are pretty self-explanatory. All right. On the steering wheel, let's look at this. It's pretty complex. We have all kinds of controls on here, but they're all very functional, okay? So on the left side here, these controls, the arrows and the OK, that controls the little screen in your gauge cluster up here. You have also cruise control on and off, resume, and you also can set the speed up and down. On the right side, we have controls for your stereo. So you can control the volume, and there's some other options. You can control the arrows on this side so that you don't have to take your hands off the wheel while you're driving. So that's kind of a safety and a convenience feature right there. Look at this shifter we got here. Okay, this is automatic, obviously. This will shift your gears, okay? So you can put it into drive and cruise down the road. You're good to go. So let's check out the glove box, see how big this is. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so this has 2 levels in it. I didn't realize that. I don't think I've seen a glove box like this before. There's actually quite a bit of storage in here. Okay, and here's the owner's manual. Explains everything you need to know about how to set up the stereo, the clock. Good to know because this infotainment center here has quite a few buttons on it. So you can get all your answers in here and get it set just the way you'd like it. So that is good that we have that. Now, that's about it for the front features, although I will have to show you this. In the mirror, there is a backup camera. That's a cool feature. So we're going to look at that when we go ahead and take it for a drive. Also, these map lights are also interior lights. You can turn them on and off. Okay, so I have the door open on the driver's side. Normally these would be off, and you can turn them on just by pressing on the light, which is kind of cool. And up here, I love how we have this storage here for your sunglasses, right there. A lot of vehicles, they don't think of that, or they don't really care. But I like having the storage so your glasses are right there all the time. You know, you don't have to dig through your center console or anything like that. You just know that they're going to be up there. So that's kind of a cool feature. You do have mirrors on either side. So there's a mirror here, and you have a mirror right here for your driver. Okay. So they both have mirrors in the visor. Let's take a look at the back seats and see how comfortable they are. Ooh, it's hot in here. All right, getting into the back seats is pretty easy. The doors open very wide, and the floors here are pretty low, so you don't really have to climb up into the seat. It's not really that roomy, but my knees aren't touching the front seat, and I have it where I would normally have it when I'm driving. So it's not too bad. I probably wouldn't want to go for a long ride in the back seats, but for kids it would be perfect. It's comfortable too, it's not too bad. So we have a handle right here to help you in and out if you need it. But otherwise, it's pretty easy to get in and out of. Let's try the third row and see how those are. All right, to get in the third row, first we're gonna have to fold this seat down. You're just gonna pull up on this lever, and then you can climb on in. All right, so I'm gonna slide over. Well, to be honest, compared to my Cadillac Escalade, the third row is actually a bit more comfortable. The seats are up a little higher, so your knees are not way up in your face like that. You have a cup holder here, you have another one over here, there's some storage space, little pockets here. This is not as comfortable as the second row, but pretty close. It's not bad. So you could easily fit 6 adults in here, or 7 children. You could fit a small child here in the middle seat. Pretty spacious for the size of the vehicle. Not too bad. Well, now that we've tried out the seats, let's put all the seats down and see how much cargo area we have in this thing. Now, to open the rear hatch, there's a little button. If you feel under here, it's going to unlock it, and you can just pull it right up like that. Okay. And then we can fold down this third row. These headrests go down. You're just going to pull on this cord, and that goes right down like that. Okay. Next, you're going to pull on this red cord right here. Fold both of the seats forward. Once you do that, you're going to pull the black cord, and that'll fold it back. And it folds flat into the floor. Very simple to convert it. Just like that. Okay? And then we'll fold down the second row. And there you go. Now you've converted this into a utility vehicle. I'll lay back here and show you how big the area is. Plenty of space. You could put a refrigerator back there if you wanted to. So you could fit 7 people or tons of cargo. There is so much space in here. So it's up to you how you want it converted. I'm going to put the seats back up. Put them up. There's a little instruction here that says pull up on latch. You're just going to push a little button in here, or latch kind of, and it pulls up. Pull the seat up. Boom. And then you can just pull these headrests back up, just like that. There you go. Now, I think it's about time to go take this for a drive. All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, always buckle up. Now let's get this thing out on the road. Now, one thing I like about this is the backup camera, because the backup camera is up here in the mirror, and normally you'd already be looking up at the mirror anyway, so you don't have to look away from your mirror to look at the backup camera. You can kind of look at both of them at the same time, which is very convenient. Also, another thing I noticed right away is the gear shift. I like when you put it in gear, it actually shows what gear you're in on the little gauge cluster here next to the miles per hour. So that's another cool feature. Okay, here we go. Let's take it for a short drive and see how it handles. So we have the EcoBoost. This is a 4-cylinder. It gets pretty good gas mileage. I'm putting my foot down, and it's taking me up this hill pretty good. It's definitely not struggling, that's for sure. So you have enough power for all the hills that are in this area, and I will tell you that the fuel economy is a big deal, because most of the time you have to drive pretty far to get anywhere when you live way out here in the middle of nowhere. Now this is a front-wheel drive version of the Ford Explorer, so in the winter you're definitely going to want to get winter tires, snow tires. My best preference is the Goodyear Blizzak tires. Those have always worked really good for me. There are a few changes in this 5th generation Ford Explorer. For example, the previous generations were all rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Well, this one actually is front-wheel drive now. There is an all-wheel drive version, but this is the front-wheel drive version. A little bit more fuel efficient, and with snow tires on it, you won't have any trouble in the winter. So if that's what you're worried about, I would be pretty confident that you could get through any snowy day with a good set of snow tires and this front-wheel drive system. So I have the air conditioning on right now, and it's cranking out pretty good. I don't have it on max air, and I don't think I need it on that right now. It's not too bad. It's probably about 90 degrees out. It's very sunny. So right away, the suspension on here is pretty stiff. It's kind of like on a car, which reminds me, I want to tell you that the previous generation of the Ford Explorer used a truck frame, right? This 5th generation has a unibody, you know, like a Ford Taurus. So it handles a lot more like a car, but it's big, and actually bigger than the previous generation. Very roomy, like an SUV. It's not a crossover. It's considered an SUV, but it is a smaller, the smallest SUV that they make for Ford. And it actually is not too bad. I haven't driven the V6, but this 4-cylinder has plenty of power. There's no issue there. Well, it looks like one of my cameras fell over, so I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. The steering is very tight. It handles these corners extremely well. It's definitely a good vehicle for going up and down on these hills and all these curves right here. Now, if you're looking for a smaller SUV with a lot of storage, this is a good choice. As you saw earlier, when we folded all the seats down, you can fit a lot back here. So if you're interested in this 2012 Ford Explorer, please check the link in the description. You'll get a hold of the seller. The listing is on Craigslist right now, so I'll put the link in the description below. Go ahead and contact them, make them an offer. I'm not sure what the price is on the listing right now, but you go ahead and click on it, check it out, and if you like the video, please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be driving some more muscle cars here pretty soon, so make sure you keep watching. Alright guys, have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.